Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Smoking in the Nook. Today it's going to be my first time smoking some alligator, so I got a small alligator I threw on there. Did a lot of prep work last night. I got two pork butts on there, 8 or 9 pounds or so. Those are going on at the same time, and watch me either get success or fail. Either way, thanks for showing up, and here we go. So here we are using the recipe I looked at called out for 4 gallons of water. So I got 3 in the pot, and then this 1 gallon here I'm using to boil everything in. What we use first is kosher salt. Got a cup and a half of that. Used about a cup of sugar there, and got this Zatarain's crab boil. Man, this stuff is delicious. I use that Zatarain's when I do crab boils, and they come out perfect. Got this Tony's two-step fire. That stuff is some good stuff there. I got both the fire and the regular, and put that shit on everything, dude. Got this Tony's Sashery, the Creole seasoning. Go ahead and throw that in there. Of course, wait until that water comes to a boil before you add all this stuff in there. That way it all mixes in and so on. Go ahead and add 2 lemons in there. Throw the peels and all that in there too. Got 2 oranges cut in half. Squeeze that stuff in there for some more juice and flavor. And then the original recipe that I had called out for 4 cups of salt, 4 cups of sugar, but this is a small gator. I just think that was way too much for what I needed. So yeah, go ahead and mix that in, and here it is. Well, you can just taste that by looking at it. All right, now it's time to put that gator in the brine. I got this gator from creolefoods.com. This was packaged really well, dry iced. It was frozen when it got to me. It took about 3 days or so, and man, I couldn't be more happier with this. I went ahead and put that in the brine there. Had to set something in there with the top on it to make sure it stayed down to get all that flavor. So that gator's been sitting in the brine for 24 hours. Go ahead and take that out. Just trying to grab it the right way. Go ahead and take that gator out and set her up there on the cutting board there. Make sure that thing's positioned nice and neat. And boom, there you have it. Put a little lemon in its mouth, keep that jaw open, making it look good while I'm cutting into it. One of the first things you got to do is, there's a tailbone that's shaped like an upside down T. So you put that sharp knife all the way down one side of that tailbone and just go ahead and fillet that. You want to open that up, kind of like a pocket, if you will. So you see me here going down one side, just trying to get enough all the way through. Then once you open that up, you'll notice there's some fat in there, and that fat doesn't render. So you want to kind of scoop that out or scrape that out, and then you can open that up more, again, to have that little pocket or bowl so you can stuff it. So I hit that side, and then go ahead and get the other side. But you can follow that tailbone all the way down, and it's real simple, real easy to do. Went a little too deep up towards the middle, but it doesn't really matter when you're able to stuff it. So I was able to get all that fat out. There was still some in there, but it really didn't make any difference. That fat, if you leave it in there, it's going to give it that gamey, gatory fish taste to it. So try to get that out as much as you can. Here I'm just drying it all out. After I took it out of the brine, I patted it down. So just making sure it's nice and dry for me when I'm ready to season it. Now I got that baby all dried up. My buddy John made me some dirty rice to go ahead and stuff in there. Man, that stuff was good. So we put this dirty rice all up in there, but then I realized, wait a minute, I forgot to season the inside. So here's that two-step once again. Put that stuff inside, and take my time seasoning that thing. Get it all over the place, inside the tail. Get that flavor every bite you get, both sides and those little pockets. Flip that thing over. Then I go ahead with the Tony Chachere's. Got that Creole flavor in there. Same thing. Put it in the tail, around the tail, on the tail, all over the body. Now it's time to stuff it. So we go get that handful of that dirty rice and just pack it in there. Make a ball, pack it in. Make a ball, pack it in. Look at that. Go ahead and check it out. Make sure that tail folds over. Keep it all in there. Again, that cavity is like a bowl, so you can just go ahead and shove it in there. Make it all nice and tight. Then I get that twine, wrap it around. That way, it just holds it in there a little bit better while it's cooking. From what it looked like in the end, it kind of swole out a little bit. I'm going to flip the other side, and we're going to season just like we did the tail. Try to throw some of that in there. Get the inside seasoned. That's the inside stomach cavity. This gator came completely gutted, cleaned out and everything. I mean, this thing is awesome. I'm definitely going to order again. Again, this was my first gator, and I think it came out really well. Everybody loved it. I gave it to the neighbors, friends, everybody that came over that day, and it was a huge success. I'm going to flip this bad boy over now. Start shoving that dirty rice into that chest cavity there. Pack that thing in there good. Now this is a fun process to do. I'm going to go ahead and tie it up with some twine, and there you go. Sew it up. The meat doctor, like a surgeon. And there it is, ready for the grill. Up next now, we got 2 pork butts. So now here's the first of the 2 pork butts that are going on with the alligator. Just checking it, feeling around for any bones that are popping out. Look at the excess fat. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And just do a little bit of trim up work. Typical stuff there. Turn that baby around. It's got that layer of fat in between the 2 pieces of meat, so we're going to go ahead and clean that up a little, slice that in there, get rid of some of that fat. Also, get rid of some of that silver skin that's in there. There's that real thin layer. Just going to peel that out as much as we can. We got it all the fat peeled out there and ready to start putting the binder on. I usually use mustard binder. I know you can use olive oil and mayonnaise. I've never tried those. I might use mayonnaise next time to see how it goes. But either way, you can't taste this at all once it's cooked and everything. It's just to hold all your seasonings on. So here we got the 3 Little Pigs Kansas City Championship Barbecue Rub. You can use this on pork, chicken, beef, fish. We chose this one today for the rub on this pork butt here. I mean, it seemed to do the trick. Once it was all said and done, it gave us a different flavor. I'm gonna flip that thing over. Same thing, mustard binder. Get that thing all rubbed down, covered with mustard. That way all your seasoning can stick on that thing. Lift the sides, any kind of crevice in there, try to get it all in that. Get that thing full of flavor. Now this thing's gonna get all seasoned up. Just close her up and put her aside. On to the next one. Here's our second pork butt here, number 2. We're gonna get that fat cap off. So there's that, we're gonna take that extra, there's a fat in between that meat and that fat cap. We're just gonna go ahead and get rid of that whole thing. Instead of just, cutting some fat off, we're just gonna get rid of it. There's still a lot of meat left, and I don't want to deal with that. So we'll go ahead and take the fat cap off, and I never had a problem with it on or off, so it doesn't really matter. It's no preference. If you want it on, you keep it on. But with me, I'm taking all the fat off of this. It didn't seem to lose any flavor at all, so it doesn't matter to me. Got all that fat. Just go ahead and slice it off. Make sure you have a sharp knife too. That way it just cuts so smooth. You'll just follow the fat along the meat, and you won't lose any meat over it. Alright, we've got all that fat off. Now it's time for that binder. Once again, went with the mustard, rub that stuff in. This time around, I'm going to use the Jolly Roger Lutin Booty Barbecue. So this is going to be a jalapeno garlic black rub that I'm going to be using for it. My wife chose this one, and seemed to be pretty good. I'm sure we're going to be using it again. Gave it that nice look too. That darkness on it just came out really nice in the end there. Now it's time to flop this bad boy over, and once again, yellow mustard binder. Rub that in there. Get your fingers and mustard all in those crevices. Then apply that Lutin Booty Barbecue. I mean, that's a jalapeno garlic. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, it sounded good and it tasted good. Then next step, we'll just put them in some tin and get them ready to throw onto the smoker. All right, now onto the fun part, being outside. My 1150 Pit Boss there handles both of those pork butts and the gator in there. That stuffed gator, man, that thing is ridiculous. Game changer with this grill, I'm telling you. I love it. We'll go ahead and have those on. We're in 2 hours already. Man, these things are looking good. Really good. I went ahead and put a cup of water in there just to keep things moist. Here it is at 4 hours, another checkup. 4 hour mark, I'm going to go ahead and start spritzing it every hour. So here's for the one pork butt, other pork butt, and then a little bit for the gator to wake it up from that sauna. We are at the 5 hour mark here. Gator's just about done. We're just going to throw a little barbecue sauce on it. I got this Kinder's. I love this Kinder brand. Everything about it, everything with it, everything that they make, I make sure I use. I love it. This is a barbecue sauce. This is the honey hot that I'm putting around this just to give it a glaze. And boy, did it. I mean, this thing tasted phenomenal. Little honey, little heat. I mean, that was the flavor to go with for me. And we're just going to leave that on there for about another 20-30 minutes just to get that glaze before we go ahead and pull this thing off. The internal temperature on this was 165, 170. Boy, this thing looks so good with that glaze. I mean, it hasn't even settled yet, and it looks shiny and good. So now we're 6 hours in here with the two pork butts. They hit about 165, 170, and we're ready to put those things inside some tins, cover them up with some foil, and then let them cook to the rest of the way at 205. Here they are after. Man, this one bone pops right out. You go and start stabbing it with the bone, shredding it up yourself. However you want to do it. Me, it's too hot for me, so I'm gonna put the bone down, and boom, there's the other one. This one's the Jolly Roger black seasoning, and man, I'm telling you,